This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. In part 1 of How to Write a Great Resume, we learned that your resume should tell a story of how you'll be valuable for a company, customized for that company. In part 2, we learned that readers skim. They don't read in detail, so the order of your entries matters. You'll either tell the story of your awesomeness chronologically or arranged functionally by skill set. Today we'll do a deep dive into the details of the individual resume entries themselves. They say the devil is in the details, so bring your pitchfork. It's going to be a fun ride. People scan from top to bottom. Did I mention that people will scan your resume? If nothing else, pound that into your brain. They'll read the major headings and the first few words of each sentence. If you use a long sentence, they'll never get to the end of it. If you use normal prose, they'll fall asleep. What matters most is the first couple of sentences under each job and the first few words of each sentence. People often format a job entry as a paragraph of text, briefly describing the job, followed by bullet points that list specific accomplishments. If you choose that format, these tips apply to each sentence in the paragraph as well as each bullet point. Every sentence must convey your value. I've read resume entries that start like this. I was a product manager in the Zombie Domination Army, ZDA for short, 14th Division. The ZDA is a collection of reanimated book club members in search of the perfect novel. Wrong. The reader doesn't care what the ZDA is. Remember, we're telling the story of you and your value to the company. The ZDA is just a footnote in that story. Here's how I'd write the same resume entry. Managed projects for ZDA 14th Division. Boom! 27 words down to 7, keeping everything that's relevant. Less is more, because people scan. If you think you need a company description for your bullet points to make sense, that means you need to reword your bullet points. Start each entry with an active verb. Did you notice, I was a product manager, became managed projects in my rewrite? That's because people scan, and you want the first word of your sentence to be the most powerful. Start each entry with a verb. I prefer to use past tense verbs, even for my current job, but you can use present tense for your current job if you want to. Here are some examples. Developed world domination plans, acquired zombie reanimation powder, raised zombie army, preserved zombie integrity with daily formaldehyde regime. Put bullet points in the order of importance, even in a chronological resume. Within a job entry, you don't have to include your bullet points in chronological order. You're telling a story, they scan. Put the bullet points first that tell the most powerful story. Don't say, refilled zombie formaldehyde tanks daily, then successfully conquered 50 cities in 4 days, liberating 20 tons of Oreo ice cream cake. Start with the conquering bullet point. Successfully conquered 50 cities in 4 days, liberating 20 tons of Oreo ice cream cake, then refilled zombie formaldehyde tanks daily. Emphasize results. Your story is that success follows you around like paparazzi follow Lady Gaga. Don't make the reader relate your experiences to their needs. You do that. In each bullet point, stress the success that you produced. Successfully conquered 50 cities in 4 days is a result. It's hot. Walked up and down the troops, reattached limbs that had fallen off is an action. It's not hot. Concentrate on the results the employer would value, which of course you know from your research. Results might include increasing sales, boosting morale, establishing critical relationships, saving money, building infrastructure, bringing on better employees, speeding up product development, reducing deficits, or increasing the salary of hiring managers. List one result per sentence or bullet. Conquered 50 cities and liberated 20 tons of Oreo ice cream cake are both benefits. They're both results. Make them separate bullet points. Otherwise, the Oreo ice cream cake gets buried at the end of the sentence, which defeats the whole purpose of liberating it to begin with. And include numbers if possible. People like numbers, especially big ones. But don't include numbers just to have impressive numbers. An entry that says, managed projects at $5 billion zombie reanimation center is dumb. The $5 billion is an impressive credential for the company, but not for you. It's obviously there to sound impressive, which makes the reader wonder why you felt you had to resort to sneaky language tricks to sound impressive. Managed $5 billion reanimation center is impressive because now the $5 billion is directly about what you did, not about the company separate from you. Use concrete visual language. You can still do even better. The more concrete, visual, and vivid your language is, the more it will stand out. Consider 2 bullet points that describe the same job. decreased loading time for Santa's sled by dancing the lambada, the forbidden dance, to motivate dozens of scantily clad elves. And optimized supply chain logistics for yearly youth behavior reinforcement initiative through visual stimulus generated through physiological resonance. Now, what's flashing through your mind right now? Clearly images from the 1990 movie Lambada, the Forbidden Dance. That's because concrete imagery is memorable. Most jobs have little concrete imagery, since the only thing concrete about our jobs are the gray walls surrounding our beige cubicles. Scantily clad elves would be escorted out of our workplace by the police for indecent exposure, but you can still make your verbs memorable. Everyone wants great leaders and managers, but led and managed are weak verbs. There's nothing visual about them, but ask yourself how you actually spent your time, and then use that to guide you. Led 5-person team, communicated vision, prioritized weekly team activities, coordinated departmental efforts, determined goals, coached people, linked 14th Division goals to overall ZDA domination plans, developed employee professional development paths, evaluated performance, resolved conflicts. Use led or managed to set the frame and then move immediately into the concrete active verbs. Vivid language is hard, but it's worth the time. Today's keyword-packed resumes sound generic. Memorable is rare. Established distribution channels? Yawn. Caused zombie scooter product line to fly off the shelves by negotiating with toy store buyers? Much more memorable. We've covered a lot in this episode. People scan, so you'll arrange your bullet points and sentence words so the punch is at the start. You'll use punchy active verbs that make your value and results shine. Plus, you'll use concrete language that makes pictures in people's heads. In episode 4 of this 3-part series, which has 33% more parts than any other 3-part series, we'll cover how to write a resume if you're changing career paths or applying for a job early in your career. This is Steve Robbins. Email questions to getitdone@quickanddirtytips.com. I help high achievers with their careers. I help them accelerate and change careers. If you want to know more, visit steverobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.